This thing that I have found is what I would call my gracious space. Hi folks, Jack Carlisle here with Gracious Spaces, and I'm super excited today for our guest here. Full disclosure, I've known Liza for quite some time.
Yes.
She's one of my favorite people.
What?
Hi, Liza.
You're one of my favorite people too, Jack.
Well, and you know what? I don't tell you that enough.
Oh.
I really don't. And
You don't have to. I could sense it. I think every time we
Yes.
see each other, it's with such excitement, like we're like long lost friends.
I love that.
Every time.
So not only are you giving that back to me, but you're saving me time from having to say, hey, you're my favorite friend. So we understand that, right?
Absolutely.
But you know what I really love? You have so many great qualities, but one of them is, and you do this, you didn't do it today though, I'll call you out on that one.
Oh.
But what you normally do when you first see me is you go, Jack, what has been the best part of your day today?
Yes.
Or what's
What
been
is
the best part of your week or month?
Yes.
And I love when you do that. That
Oh.
sets the tone kind of for our next words and conversation and
Right.
sentences.
Well,
Yeah.
well, I'm really big on, we go through life and there's like the normality. Like I know what you do for a living. I know, a little bit about your personal life, but I always I'm into celebrating, celebrating what's good.
Yeah.
And I try to keep that, kind of outlook because it's too easy to ask, how are you? And it's too easy to give a generic, answer.
Yeah.
But if you go with what can I celebrate with you, we can celebrate the ups and the downs, but what's the highlight? I ask, what's the highlight of your day and week?
Yes.
It could be good, it could be bad, but it's just a way of connecting.
And you said it perfect right there, the normality. You could just say, how are you today? Or,
Yes.
Yeah, I'm doing good, whatever.
Yes.
But yeah, I like that. You're opening the door for further, deeper conversation.
Absolutely.
And I can't think of a time when I've come into you or seen you, even in some darker times, that you didn't have a positive outlook on that situation.
Wow.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. And we've spent some fair amount of time with each other.
Absolutely.
I think, and we know each other quite well. And I think that there might be one time, maybe. We don't need to talk about that.
Yes.
No. But you always have this amazing presence.
Thank you.
And I appreciate that because then even when you walk away,
Yes.
it makes me think of my mood and where it's like, wow, she can do it. She's doing it.
Right.
I can do that too right now.
Absolutely. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
so
And we're done. No, just I've done my work here.
well, speaking of work, you're an amazing individual. You have quite the past and quite the future ahead of you. But there was a point in your past that you led yourself down a road of helping others,
Yes.
and that's improved their life.
Yeah. Oh,
So I'm getting all sorts of brownie points today, aren't I?
I know.
So tell me about that. What part of your life you were in the corporate world?
Yes.
I would say is fair to say. And what part of your life said, you know what, I'm going to take a leap of faith, as
Right.
you might say, and go this direction?
Well, if I can give you my long elevator pitch,
There you go.
about who are you, what you're about. And what I like to say is, I'm always about empowering. I don't know where this came from, but I've always been about empowering. And my first career was actually in law. While I was in law school, I was working for a domestic violence shelter. And this was during the Nicole Brown Simpson trial. And back then, I felt like my mission in life was to empower the mind of my clients who were victims of abuse, whether they were elders or domestic violence partners or even sexual abuse.
It happens in all ages
Yes,
and
child
walks
abuse.
of life.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I felt like my mission was to advocate and empower their mind into understanding the law and how the law can help them, receive justice and peace. And I was on my way to court just up the street from here, really, Chapman and the City Drive. Turning left to go to court. And I had a client with me so that she could make her restraining order more permanent. And I was hit by a big rig. So literally the trunk of my car smashed into my back seat. And I injured my neck. I injured what would be my cervical spine, and I couldn't look up or down for long periods of time. I was in physical therapy for several months, and this is back in the late 90s, a while ago.
I was trying to do the math when you said Nicole Brown Simpson.
Yes, this is like 90. Okay, so in late 90s, and the physical therapy place that I was going to, it was like 4 months later, I was getting no relief. I was just miserable. I think they were miserable helping me. And they just certified a Pilates teacher. And they're like, maybe work with her. And I was her first patient that she worked with. And it changed my life. Wow. The idea of mind and body moving together to heal. Yeah. And I came to that moment like, this is what I want to do now. So I want to empower the body. And I went and I left my career in law and became a Pilates teacher, which I've been doing for 20 years now.
Oh my gosh.
For over 20 years, actually.
Do you still communicate with that individual that jump-started you?
Okay, so this is the thing. One of the times, so I actually had the bounty. I had just so grateful to be blessed to meet you and have my studio inside your place when you were located at Atkinson and Chapman. Yeah. And you had one of the open houses. I think it was like a spring open house. Yeah. And one of the ladies came through my studio and said, "Oh, I used to have a little PT Pilates studio first, and I met her, and I'm like, I think it was Aldo and Ashton, something like that. I'm sorry if you hear this and it's wrong. And she owned the place that I was going to PT, and she remembered my first teacher. Okay, and I'm like, you changed my life. So I got to thank her for that.
In person.
So yes. Wow. And it was at your store.
Yeah, I mean, life doesn't give you those things just because that you reached. I mean, that was meant to happen.
It was.
And what a cool circumstance that was as well. So
Absolutely.
then you've decided you're going to move forward and help people in this way. And this could be the silliest question, but I kind of think it myself a little bit because I'm not, but sort of, for those that might equate yoga and Pilates, what is the difference? I know there is a big difference, but yeah.
This is how I like to describe what Pilates is.
Okay.
Pilates is a system of exercising, balancing stretch and strength, initiating from the core. So the core would be like, how I describe it, like right at your sternum. And when I have new clients, I have them touch these places. So touch your sternum, like right down to your pubic bone. It incorporates your sides and your back, and this whole idea that all the movement, whether you're stretching or strengthening, it initiates from there to create long, lean muscle. Okay. And at my studio, we use exercise equipment, or what Mr. Pilates calls the apparatus, to achieve that, so that by the end of our session, we would have worked all parts of your body. And it incorporates breathing as well. So,
and that's through a series of different exercises.
A variety of exercises. You can do it without apparatus or equipment. I have a fully equipped studio that does. Whereas yoga, I believe, is done mostly on mat, right? With just your body. Your body is necessary. And I believe that there's also there is a spiritual aspect in Pilates. I believe so. But there's also different types of technique with yoga that incorporates breathing and breath and holding still. I feel like I have a little bit of ADD, so I gravitate more towards Pilates, because one of the principles of Pilates is there's a constant flow in movement. Yes. Yeah. Yes. And actually, Mr. Pilates, I like to call him Mr. Pilates because he's given me a way to make a living doing something I love. His name is Joseph Pilates. But Mr. Pilates actually studied yoga, and he studied the movement of animals, and he studied all sorts of gymnastics. His father was a gymnast. And so before he created his work, which he didn't call his work Pilates, he called his work Contrology. Yes. And then after his death, it evolved, another story, into naming it after him, Pilates.
And a lot of athletes use this form of exercise.
Yeah. I see that all the time.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so how would that translate for an athlete to improve in the breathing, movement,
And I believe
mobility?
having a conscious awareness of your movement, right, is really important. And I believe that not only as a Pilates teacher, but also I study and I teach healing arts as well, the spiritual aspect of, like, I'm all about the mind, body, spirit, and having this idea of being conscious of your movement along with from what I see with the when I see athletes doing Pilates, or even when Kobe, was doing Pilates, just having this kind of concentration of breath and moving, matching together with eccentric and concentric contraction with whatever that you do.
Yeah. Well, I know when I've joined you,
Yes.
and you're like, come on in and let's, it's difficult. It's
It
hard.
looks easy until you're doing it correctly, right?
Yes. And I think that's
Yes.
the key, is the correctness of it.
Yes, yes.
It's that neuromuscular mind-body connection
Exactly.
to each place you're working.
Yes, Jack.
So I
Yes.
know a little bit.
I
You taught
know.
me.
Yes,
But
exactly.
it is difficult, and I have breathing issues in general, and it definitely helps correct that as well, and some of the other activities that I do.
Right. And just focus on, I remember when you started weight training and doing all of that kind of stuff, and your body started to morph, right, and to change. I mean, having an awareness of your body and how it coordinates with everything that you do. I think that's one of the main things I like to teach at Pilates Encore, that, yeah, you're exercising here, but you're exercising here and you're focusing on your body. So you can, if you're a mom, you can carry your kid. If you're a nurse, you can walk for long hours of time. If you're a weekend warrior, even if you're doing, what is that, high intensity training, that you're doing it without getting injured, and you're doing that so they're not hurting your back or your hips or your, whatever parts, and you can do that more joyfully and more longer and with more zest.
I like that because, yes, you have more control over it because
Yes.
you're doing it correctly.
Yes.
And you do it more joyfully.
Absolutely.
I love how you put it that way.
Yes.
In hiking, grocery store shopping, I mean,
Right?
we use it in every day of
Yes,
all
or
of ways.
moving these plants. I mean, and just carrying stuff. I have clients. The first thing I ask with every client who comes in is like, "What do I need to know about your body?" And sometimes
Good and
I
bad.
have yes, and sometimes I have this whole idea, like, "Oh, she's going to come in. We are going to do this, this, this,"
Yeah.
and then she comes in. She's like, "Okay, I just taught finals, or my college students have blah blah blah, and I've been sitting at my desk for 7 hours without stopping. My neck is killing me. My hips are killing me."
Yeah.
And like, oh,
Let's bring it down.
let's bring it down.
Have a seat. Do
Yes.
some breathing.
Breathing, we will do some
Yeah.
stretching. We'll do more stretching.
Well, and if your mind is in that, what you just left, all
Right.
that negative energy,
Right.
how are you going to be successful in
and
this?
focusing, yes.
Yeah. So
yes.
you open that mind, body, and spirit.
Yes, absolutely.
And you yourself practice this daily.
Absolutely.
It's a way of life.
Yes. Even more recently, I'm taking a course right now on visualization and just how to create a life for myself where I have a balance in everything that I'm doing.
So visualization, sort of manifesting.
Yes, there's visualization and having an awareness of all the things that are possible. I think that manifestation, has just kind of been like a normal word now. Like, I'm going to manifest this. I'm going to manifest this, and here's my vision board. And to do this with such an awareness of the intention of what you want to manifest and why.
Yeah.
I think that's where I'm at. It's like, okay, it's one thing to say, oh, I'm going to have a Pilates business, but this is what, right now I'm studying, like, what is it? Okay, what am I supposed to bring to the world?
That's exactly what I was going to say. Bring to the world.
And how is that in my presence? People who do come to me, I realize, and I've had my studio for over 20 years now. I seem to attract, and it's not by any means advertising. Before social media, I never advertised my studio. I think part of it is because I was a domestic violence advocate and I wanted to keep my privacy.
Yeah.
But I seem to draw and attract people that are in transition.
Yeah.
And it's not so much like read this or find out, but like, what is it about you that's waiting to emerge or that's trying to come out? And how can that make your life and the life of people that you care about in your community and the world even better?
Yeah. To grow.
Yes.
And those people, you say you attract them, there's reasons they're going to be attracted, whether it's a referral.
Yes.
That's not happening just out of happenstance.
Yeah. And it's a vibe, I think. I've had people like, okay, just tell me what to do, how many to do. And, and then I'll go on my merry day, and I don't vibe with those people. I want it. To me, it's so important that you're feeling what you're doing and understanding why you're doing it. And that you take that so that you're not in at my studio, 2 or 3 times a week just exercising, but you're actually learning how, like I said earlier, to take things so that you can, be the best person you can be, if it's planting, if it's gardening, if it's, riding your bike all over town.
Well, I feel like in this day, you can hop on social media, most every one of the outlets, and you see little affirmations, they're always there, and you can repost, and I'm probably guilty of it myself. You can repost, I'm going to but that's not even a fraction of the work you need to go out there and do if you believe in that quote.
Yes.
So there's this class, you're in this visualization class.
Yes.
So tell me more about what a visualization class will involve.
I think the essence of it, and it's through the Agape Spiritual Center, led by Dr. Reverend Michael Bernard Beckwith, and it's about really like what is waiting or wanting to emerge from you, from a spiritual standpoint, right? Yeah. And a lot that I'm learning and realizing, especially like I've kind of been on this path or journey of how to, like I said, empower people's life and how to empower my own. Yeah. So I have been doing like the vision boards for over 20 years now. And the affirmations, I remember one of my friends is like, I remember you had Post-its everywhere that, said this and that. And it's one thing to say it, but to embody it is a whole nother thing. Yeah. And I'm realizing and learning that it's all about the feeling and understand the feeling tone. When you have a conscious awareness of what it is that you want to achieve, and not only in mind and seeing what it is, but feeling what that feels like, it just is a whole nother level, and it manifests so elegantly, if I must say, and so graciously, if I must say.
It unfolds.
Yes.
So you don't have to answer this if you don't want to, but
I'll answer.
So so you're in this course. What are you within yourself wanting to bring forth? And to strive to be better. Is that okay to ask you that?
Absolutely.
So you're there taking this course.
Yes.
For yourself, but I think also probably for your clients and to better yourself to help them.
Yes.
But there's got to be a personal reason, perhaps, why you're doing that.
And I mean this in like people who know me. I'm not religious. And I've studied different disciplines. I was raised in Italy, which was predominantly Catholic. My father was Methodist. My mother, towards the end of her life, she became I can't even think of it. It was like a new kind of Christian. And when they both passed, they passed away when I was in my late 20s. My mother passed when I was my father passed when I was 28. My mother died 4 years earlier. I think I was like upset with God. Like, why this? Why is this happening to me? And and as you know, I've had a lot of challenges in my life. And part of it's like, did you like abandon me or leave me? And I'd like to think that I'm a good person. And what I'm realizing that these things that have happened in my life, and of course even meeting you and you offering a space for me to create my studio, these hardships in my life have actually been stepping stones to make me a better person. right? And to empower myself to be of better service in whatever craft that I do. So with this class that I'm taking, what I'm realizing that for myself, like there is a voice in me that's very critical, and I don't know. I think it's in everybody, and you can say of everything that you should do or you should be, or and it's sometimes very soft, and sometimes it's really loud, and I'm trying to figure out which part of me is the voice that's directly connected to spirit, to the universe. And how can I let that voice speak through and become a reflection of who I am? And so that is, what I try to be in everything that I do, whether it's in personal relationships, whether it is in what I do for a living, and all the goals that I have. How can I be a reflection of the best part of life in everything that I do? So that's my selfish.
I honor and respect what your goals are. You I love as well your family. You mentioned your mom and dad, and we've had conversations over that, and those were difficult times for you.
Yes.
Family's a huge. You spend most of your free time with your family, and some of them
my friends too. Yeah. Yes.
But they live in a distance, not far away.
Yes.
But you make time for them.
Yes,
and
I try to.
Yeah, no, you do, and I'm sure they're very blessed and are grateful that you do. There's probably times where
I don't know.
When is she leaving? Oh my God!
Exactly.
She's coming again. Oh my gosh! But no, I think that's huge. Something that I feel, and personally in myself, I should have spent more time with my parents.
Right. Right.
And so I encourage everyone to, even in the hardest times, and they're good parents and bad parents and all that, and every situation's different. But take time to
spend time with your mom.
Yeah.
One of the things, that is true, is that whenever you're feeling under the weather, you always miss your mom.
Yeah.
You always miss your mom. I'm older than my mom ever. I'm older than my mom is when she was alive, and I still miss my mom, especially when I'm sick.
Yeah, there's that need. Moms are nurturing. They're loving. They're unforgiving.
Yes, yes.
Well, we're going to take it a little bit of a turn there. So, I want to. So, this is a passion of mine that has come to fruition, is this space we're in right now.
Oh my gosh, it's absolutely beautiful.
I'm gonna pull your knowledge of feng shui.
Oh my gosh!
And so do a little quick feng shui for me around the room.
Jack.
Come on, I know you can do it. I don't want to put you on the spot.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. And if anything needs to change, I want to know about it, and we can talk about this.
Yes.
Before you leave today, but
okay. So this, if I were going to say, so this right behind you, right? You want to have, that would be like your helpful corner. So I kind of see some of the things that are going back there. And okay, if any feng shui masters are, especially the feng shui people that have taught me, I apologize. He just put me on the spot. But you want to have like people that are helpful, right? Across from here, right, is your fame. So, well, when you open, if you were open this one, does this open out to the center of the circle?
Exactly. That's the Old Town Orange Plaza.
Yes.
And what you're dead on right there, because the way I look at it is from here, I can see where I came from, and that's my old shop.
Yes.
Yeah. So no, see, that's
yes,
good.
Exactly.
Yeah, so I can kind of see my path.
Right.
And
and that it kind of vibrates in here.
It led me to here.
Right. This is your wealth corner. So this plant is actually perfect for that, I believe. And this is so this is your wealth corner. That is your relationship corner. Okay. So it's kind of is it the Pilates? I think, is that what the
Pilea, the plant.
Yes, you told me. Maybe like something there and flowing, or
so what's cool about this, and I want to keep going if you've got more, but so behind me is sort of So Leo, my left and right arm here that does
Yes.
the filming and editing and whatnot, that is sort of our helpful corner. That's where
Yes.
all the tools and the things you might need, and for you as a guest,
Yes.
napkins, Kleenex, whatever. And then,
Oh.
yeah. So without you seeing that behind the plants, yeah. So that is our sort of
Yes.
tool area.
Yes.
And then you said relationship here. Well, you can't see him, but Leo, my relationship is there
Yes.
with him to create this.
Yes.
And then my wealth corner is,
Yes.
of course, you and your
What?
beauty and your wealth sitting there. So
Yes.
I think you did really well.
You did very well. I just came in and sat down.
Yeah. Well, no, I think when we're on the second floor of my personal business,
Right.
a plant shop,
Right.
and home and gift and whatever. And when I was considering taking this second floor,
Right.
you were one of the first people I had over
I know.
here.
Yes.
And we walked up, and I put you on the spot that day, and I
Yeah.
said, "Tell me what
And he's-
this."
What do I see?
Yeah, what
yes.
do you see?
Yes.
And it was exactly where I wanted everything to be, up here, as far as what kind of you did, just what you just did.
Yes.
But I'm like, that's exactly where I wanted to put things. So,
Yes. And then,
you're so in tune with that. So that's why I felt comfortable asking you. I was putting you on the spot, but I knew you got it.
yeah.
You know
And
what you're
it
doing.
is such a glorious, beautiful space that you created here. And, if you've not been by the potting shed yet, and you need an oasis, or you need to get any kind of gift and plant, and the people here are so knowledgeable, you just created just a wonderful team here, and beautiful. You surround yourself around such beauty, and this is a place to go to. I want to know what inspired you to, get into this. Because the first shop was actually gorgeous as well.
Yeah, so get into plants?
Yes.
We'll do another thing on
Okay.
that. Actually, my grandparents. I grew up on a farm, but both my grandmothers were avid gardeners. One was indoor plants, one was outdoor plants. So
And you have
I
both.
just I just picked it up from them and ran with it. So
It is true. Love your mother and your mother's mother.
absolutely, I miss them a great deal. So Pilates Encore, tell us
Yes.
all where we can find out more about you
Yes.
and what you do.
So I am located in Old Town Orange. Right now, I'm currently on the corner of Atkinson and Chapman, right across the street from Veterans Park. And hopefully there'll be a new space coming up. But not only that's where my physical studio is, but I also am able, and I've done this before, beautiful spaces of people's homes. And this actually started, shortly kind of after COVID, when people were not very comfortable to be around strangers. I'd go and I would teach, small classes, or just, a bunch of girlfriends at their home. And so you can call and request for that if you're interested.
Yeah.
And then, I get asked to do speaking engagements. The big one I did last year was for Chapman University, and we spoke about, motherhood to motherhood and ways you can empower the mind, body, and spirit.
Yeah, and that's a specialty of yours is women who are in pregnancy.
No,
Stage? No?
I think it's just, I don't know why I got asked to do that. I think
I don't know why I thought that was.
well, intuitively, my mother. I don't have children that I've birthed on my own, but my mother was a nurse, and she did labor and delivery. Mm-hmm. So I think that's really. I have tons of godchildren. And I have kids that, if they were once my clients, that went to Chapman and come over, and they just come back. And Lisa recently moved back, and I don't know. I'm like maybe the cool mom that they need when they're away from home.
Well, they're lucky to have you, and I know your mom must be extremely proud of you as well.
I hope so.
Yeah, you she is. So give me just a little bit of brief. If someone has enjoyed this conversation and they want to know more, and sort of a jumping off point, but they're a little nervous or scared, what would be your suggestion? And they could be in any other state or just anywhere.
Just to reach out to me?
Just to reach out to you, or just create a vision board of their own at their home to take them down a path that will be mind, body, and spirit.
Let me think. Okay, we didn't go over that question, Jack.
We didn't go over any of this. What are you talking
I know,
about?
exactly. Like,
Well,
yeah.
just like if I was sitting and listening, and God,
Yeah.
that intrigued me, and I want to go a little deeper into my spirituality.
Yes. Or what is it that you want to be a vision
Yeah, is
of?
it sitting and breathing?
You
Is
know,
it vision? Yeah.
So I would say like the gateway to happiness, or the gateway to feeling, or the gateway to like visualizing what it is that you want for yourself are positive feelings, right? And positive ideas. So I know. Would you be open to play with me for a little bit, and we can do a little quick thing?
Sure.
Okay, I'm going to have you close your eyes,
Okay.
and then I'm just going to have you softly breathe. Inhaling through your nose, and then exhale out through your mouth. Just relax your shoulders and just focus on my breath and your breath. Inhaling in and then exhaling out. And just allow my voice to guide you. And I want you to think back on a time that you felt loved, like unconditionally loved. It could have been your mom, like we've been talking about. It could have been your grandparents. And I just want you to go back to thinking of how you were at that time and what it felt like to be loved unconditionally, without abandon, like you didn't have to do anything but exist. And I want you to think about that. Take a deep breath in and then exhale it out. And I want you to take a deep breath in now and hold it. And I want you to amplify that feeling of being loved unconditionally 10 times more. And then let it out. And then I want you to take a deep breath in, hold it, amplify it 100 times more. And before you exhale, I want you to think, imagine if that person that you're thinking of that loves you were to whisper in your ear. What would you want to hear them say? Hold that thought, take another sip of breath. Hear it as if it was their voice and it's happening right now. And then exhale it out. And I want you to keep that. You can open your eyes if you want.
Man. What are you doing to me, Lisa?
And then carry that on and just see, where does that lead you? Where does that take you into your visualization?
There's so much fulfillment in me right now, and oh my gosh. You guys do that. Rewind or something. Let her do that. No way. That's everybody has their own focus, but you were dead on. I thought of my mom, right?
Yes.
And you could just feel her arms around me, and that was wow.
Oh my God, I have goosebumps.
No, it's so cool. Yeah, that's exactly what that question I asked you meant, and I think that will get anyone hooked on this. I challenge everybody. The next person you see, whether you know them or not, go up to them and go, "What's the best part of your day?"
Yes.
And take these practices and information and carry it through the world. We're so wrapped up in so much negativity out there, whether it be news or, we need to jump over that. And
absolutely.
Yeah.
And this is why your podcast is so important, that it spreads that message, and you too, and just your energy and what you bring.
So define your gracious space for me.
My gracious space is a space that's a balance of mind, body, spirit, where you recognize yourself in the world, and that you attract and you express that, so that you are a vibration of that, and that you draw that same kind of love and happiness and graciousness and beauty in everything that you do and where you're at.
Yeah. And people will recognize that, and they'll want a part of that.
Yes.
And they'll want to know who is this person with this energy,
Right.
and how can I grab that energy?
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, look, Jack, you created 2 stories of it right here in the heart of Orange, Like, still, when I think about that and the move, like, I was devastated when you moved, but then I see this, and you've created heaven right in the center of Old Town Orange.
And that's the beauty of you being you. You could have been jealous or he'll never make it, but no, you lifted that up. No, I know you never would.
Yeah.
But it's just like there's that could have happened, and you didn't allow that to happen. That's not you. So why would that ever happen? But
No.
we need to know that and lift our friends up
Yes.
in their endeavors and praise them and congratulate them.
Yes. Absolutely. And have fun and celebrate them all
Yes.
the time.
Well, now that we have saved the world,
Yeah.
just go breathe, everybody.
Just breathe, visualize,
visualize,
hug yourself.
and we'll all be good.
Yes.
Well, you are an incredibly busy lady, and I really appreciate your time today. It's meant a lot to me, and I hope everyone has enjoyed listening to you.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much.
So go out
And love yourself.
just love yourself. Take care, folks. We'll hear you on the next go around.
Yes. Thank you.